let's talk about this main event that's coming up. But I want to clear a lot of things up because you've been getting like railroad, and I feel like I'm the only one out here fighting sometimes. And I was like, I want to remind people who Jessie Vargas is. I'm the one that picked you to beat Tim Bradley. When everybody has you to lose to Timothy Bradley, like Bradley should stop him. He don't have any power. I want to let the boxing world know right now about you. Jessie Vargas has fought every style in boxing. That's what people don't realize. You have fought every different style there is. You fought the strong guy, the fast guy, the guy that's younger. You have faced every style that is, the slick boxer. You faced all these guys already. They just wasn't paying attention. All right, it's not his fault that you weren't paying attention. Because a lot of the fights you were fighting, you were supposed to lose. That was the thing. And for the boxing world that's out there, Wale Optimoso, they brought him in because they thought he was going to knock out Jessie. Jessie didn't have any power. He was 23-0. Impressive, strong fighter, hard puncher. Jessie broke him down.
Yeah. And most of his fights were by knockout. You know, the big knockout. I think 21 of his fights were by knockout. So you know, I mean, I've been against guys that, most guys that I faced, I mean, they were actually, they were chosen to win, you know, but I took that from them and I made sure to come out with the victory. You know, unfortunately for me, you know, I have been the underdog and I've been picked to lose in plenty of my fights that day. You know, after my 15th fight, after that, after my 15th fight, you know, I was picked to lose on several occasions. Actually, and when I was coming up, actually, I was brought up as an informant a couple times. You know, one for Anthony Lane, he was an undefeated amateur standout, and I was put an undefeated record on the line. What can I say, man? I mean, I was fighting as I was coming up. I was fighting on Golden Boy shows while promoted by Mayweather Promotions, and anyone that Golden Boy would want us to face, we'd say, okay, yeah, that's for sure, that's fine. And I mean, keep in mind that, you know, this is another promoter putting me in fights, and all he was doing was just putting us in fights where it would be tough and the fans would enjoy it. Why? Because they didn't have anything to lose from it, and since they needed to put me on the show, we're going to put them on the show, entertaining matchup. That way, my other one-sided fight, my prospect that I'm bringing up, I can give them a one-sided fight, but I also give the fans a mini matchup brawl, and that will put in Jessie Vargas. So each one of my fights, you know, I was brought up tough, and I was brought up tough as fuck. I had to fight down and make sure that I beat everybody that I faced. You know, and I've done that so far, and it's just another one of those obstacles that, you know, I'm being picked to. Some people, a lot of people think that are going against me in this fight, and I'm going to prove them wrong. But thankfully, you know, slowly but surely, I am getting my own fan base, and I'm getting the love from the people that the fan base is growing off of. You know what I mean?
Right. Because if anybody see this, I remember you fought that guy Caleb. He was 19-0. Strong puncher. Everybody's like, "Oh man, Caleb is he's the goods, man. He's gonna beat Jessie." And when you beat him, and I saw how well you adjusted to his style, and that's what people don't really, you know, understand. When you beat Anton and all those guys, these are undefeated fighters, ladies and gentlemen. 29-0, 19-0. These are undefeated fighters he's beating, and the way he does it is he sees what they're gonna bring and he adjusts. He makes adjustments in the ring. And people, I don't think they understand the boxing too much. They just think you slug it out, you know, all the time. But it's not true. You don't have to knock everybody out. And I think that's what some of these networks, and they have the agendas of they they're going to these Ukrainians and all these guys out of the country who can just knock people out, and that's what they want to sell you. And it's hurting the sport of boxing by doing that, because it's just a one part of boxing. If you could score a knockout, that's great. But it's about the art form is about how to outthink your opponent and land and get hit without getting hit. That's what the sport is about.
Definitely, man, definitely. Well, I think that we're going out of the country just because, I mean, you have maybe a great Mexican fighters, Puerto Rican fighters. You really do, man.
Yeah.
You know? You know, now Russian fighters are coming in, and you fighters from Russia, Kazakhstan, wherever the case might be. You know, they're strong fighters. They've always been strong fighters. Like, you go back and you ask Sugar Ray, you go back and you ask Holyfield, any Olympian, you know, we know that Russian fighters and Kazakhstani fighters, they're built tough. You know, they're rugged, they're strong, and they can punch. They're just a little one-dimensional.
Right.
You know, so every time the amateurs we face them, you know, that's what we just have to watch out for. They're going to be tough, but just outsmart them. You know, kind of like a matador and a bull. You know, and that's how we grew up. You know, and now the networks are using them because, I mean, they're good fighters. But not only that, you know, I truly believe that. I mean, they are the skin color of the most common here in the United States. You know, and you know, Donald Trump and a lot of these people have made me realize that that's something that stands out for a lot of the audience. You know.
Yeah.
And hey, if you gotta use them to boost up your network, well, then do so, right? But not only that, taking no better away from them. I mean, they are the fighters that are up there right now. They are huge punchers. So I could also understand, and I could see why they are at that position as well.
Yeah.
You know, but it's gonna be an entertaining, interesting couple of years for me. I mean, to make me see things differently, you know. But the boxing game is definitely growing, and it's going in a different direction. But I think that overall, you know, we're all trying to make boxing what it once was in the 80s and the 80s and early 90s.
Yes, because what you did was bring back the excitement, and the fact that you end up hurting Timothy Bradley in the fight, and I picked you to win. I was jumping up out of my chair because I was like, "Yeah, we finna get the fight over with." I thought you had won. I thought when the referee came, I was like, "Oh, it's over, we won!" Oh man, I was jumping up, running around. We won! I'm thinking like, "Oh man, I'm getting ready to talk all this crap because I picked you to win." Because everybody keeps doubting you, like you just because like, oh, you don't have a lot of knockouts. But I saw what you were doing. I saw you were setting up the right hand. You were doing it constantly in the fight, and sometimes you landed. You were setting him up for that the entire fight. You kept setting that punch up. And I said, oh, man, he's setting it up because it's wide open. It was there. And this people don't understand. Amateur background, fighting these guys, sparring with these guys, all of these things are progressions and steps that people take to get to the next level. Just because you don't know them, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't mean that they're bums. You know, people just go, you know, because of social media, you know, they don't know you. Oh, it's some bum. I was like, dude, you don't know him. Just say you just don't know. So when you fall Saddam Ali, you know, networks, you know, that was the guy they wanted to put on the pedestal and kind of build up. Saddam Ali's this monster puncher, which he was known for being a guy that can do this and that. He's powerful. And people tell me, yeah, once again, he's going to beat Jessie Vargas. And I'm like, this is amazing. I'm like, he just rocked Timothy Bradley. Y'all had him out on his feet. But yet, still, Saddam Ali is the guy that's going to destroy him. And I told people, I said, Jesse's going to beat him. Watch. And I didn't think you were going to beat him in that fashion, but you did. 22-0. And once again, you were looked at as the underdog.
Yeah, Yeah, sure.
And you had the most experience. See, this is why these so-called experts that we hear out there giving their opinions on the fight, and they've been doing it for so long. In the end, these guys are not in the gym. They don't interview the trainers. They haven't seen the amateur fights of any of the fighters. They haven't seen all these things. They only know what's on the paper that they're reading. And this is why I tell the people, tune in to these fights. You got to watch these fights. And now you got Manny Pacquiao. Because I know you guys are all going to be surprised what happens in the ring. Manny Pacquiao, who just looked impressive beating Timothy Bradley Jr., the best out of the third fight, that was the best fight they had. That Manny looked in fighting Timothy Bradley. His third fight, he dropped him twice. And he's looking like he's ready to go. He just fought a couple of months ago. So now, he's fighting Jessie Vargas. All of a sudden, people are like, I want him to fight Terrence Crawford. Because if Terrence Crawford, if he happens to beat Terrence Crawford, now that's really saying something. But if he beats him, or let's say Jessie Vargas beat Manny Pacquiao, Pacquiao is shot. I'm like, what? So if Pacquiao beats Terrence Crawford beats Pacquiao, Terrence Crawford is the next greatest thing in the world. But if Jessie Vargas beats them, Pacquiao was just shot. Oh, wow. When I heard that, I already knew what it was, Jesse. And what it is that these guys have bosses and agendas. And the network that he works for, that person, it's in their benefit for them to try to down it because they had an opportunity to buy the fight. They didn't want to. But instead, they're going to give you Canelo and Liam Smith. You know, they want to buy that fight. They wanted to buy Andre Ward versus this guy that no one ever saw before in Brand, who I felt shouldn't even been in the ring with him. It was completely two fights that I think that should have not been picked up for purchase. But that's here, no there. Now we look at the style of Manny Pacquiao. He's an in and out fighter. He's not an inside fighter. A lot of people believe he is. He's not. He's an in and out fighter. He's a southpaw, and what he is, he's good deceptively leading people into traps to set him up for his big left hand. He's got surprising power, but his speed is not the same no more. He's kind of lost a step with his speed, but he still has deceptive power. That left hand shot, I'm quite sure you adjusted on it. What are some of the things y'all doing in camp to try to, neutralize it? I know you've probably seen a lot of film on Manny before.
Yeah, well, Manny's a great fighter, we see nothing away from him. When we have to prepare properly in order to beat Manny Pacquiao, and that's exactly what we're doing.
Okay.
It's gonna be a good. I mean, you would have to have my trainer for that, But definitely, if you ask me, we have to make sure to match or actually have more speed than him. We must use every advantage that we have, and just use our power. Yeah, have everything to beat him. My style is the style that will beat Manny Pacquiao convincingly, and I can't wait to show it.
Yep, and I'm picking you. So, once again, I am on record for picking Jessie Vargas. Once again. And then when I'm right this time, I'm going to Vegas because I'm collected. So they got me on record once again. See, people are like, they were like, man, you got to be objective. And you got to be non-biased. Look at both sides. I do look at both sides. But in the end, you got to pick a winner. So in the end, I'm picking Jessie Vargas once again to pull off the victory because he's once again counted out. And I think you have more versatility than Manny Pacquiao as far as boxing skills and boxing ability. And that's just for me watching the sport of boxing. You do. But do you feel that the fact that everyone's talking about a rematch with Mayweather in May, that you feel you might have to be more aggressive towards Manny Pacquiao to win the rounds, like they might raise his hand anyway? Just for that fight?
I am definitely going to have to win every round in order to come out victorious. You know what I mean? Keep in mind that that this is a business at the end of the day, and there's a reason why they're talking about a rematch with Floyd. But I plan to just make it a decisive win for me, and that way I get the victory. Whether it's by knockout or decision, but I will be declared the winner. And then afterwards, then I can. If Floyd ever decides to come up, well, he can be the man that defeated Manny Pacquiao, and will be me. But other than that, we just have to be focused on winning every second, every minute of the fight. I mean, we know that we aren't I'm thankful for the opportunity, but I know that I have to work my butt off in order to get victory and win every single minute in the fight, just to play safe and make sure that I come out with the victory on the judges' scorecard. But the fight is in Las Vegas, and bad decision in Las Vegas harmed our roster. So usually our judges here, our officials, always do a great job. I'm not worried so much, to be honest. I do anyways want to make sure that I win every round. And I plan to do that November 5th.
That's right, and that's my man Jessie Vargas. And don't forget, Thomas and Mack Center, Las Vegas, November the 5th, 2016. Where you going to be watching that fight? You can get tickets and go there, watch that fight live. Thomas and Mack, there's no bad seat in the house at Thomas and Mack, let me tell you. Period. You can watch, I've watched plenty of fights there.
You don't have to worry about paying parking,
No.
Pay parking and come on by, and thank you guys for all of your support. I promise you a great performance, a great night of boxing, and please tune in, and thank you all.
All right, thanks again for giving us the time of day. We appreciate it. BoxingSocialist.com. I'm out.